Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Bunga Podcast. I'm your host, John. We are back again with another exciting bit of content, another exciting interview. Today we have got a rapper, musician, and just overall good guy, Katz with a K. How you doing, my guy?
Cheers, thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, good to have you on, bro. Yeah, good to have you on. I suppose I usually go into the backstory to begin with.
Yeah.
You know, where are you from? What got you into music? We'll get to all that. But I kind of wanted to start with your name. Your name's quite interesting. Katz with a K. Where does the with a K bit come from? I suppose.
It's funny because I'm just Katz. Like my nickname's Katz. I've been Katz since I was 8 years old. But I didn't want to be when you're a kid. You don't want to be CATS. So.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I made it KTZ, and so fast forward to being a rapper. I was gonna be Cecil B. Demented. That was going to be a rap name, which is like a name of a John Waters film. That
kind of sounds like something that's quite regal. It sounds like something out like an old manor in the Victorian times or something.
I might release a project under Cecil B. Demented yet. I do like that name.
Well, that could be the name of an album. Or like, do some more stuff with that, man. For sure.
I decided to just be Katz, but then when I was working with this label and it got to this, putting my music on Spotify, there's a million people called Katz, K-T-Z, because it's a Jewish last name. So there's a million.
Makes sense.
So you put in Katz in like Spotify, a million people come. So like
you need something to make yourself distinguished.
With a K as a sort of distinguished. So that's if you put in Katz with a K into anything, I'm the only person that comes up.
Yeah. You got to have something something unique that distinguishes you from the crowd for sure.
Full disclosure. It's not my favourite nickname. It's a bit of a joke. It's a joke that just.
And now everyone knows you, man. Yeah, it's stuck. Yeah, goes to show.
Control. Hopefully, I want to be big enough to just be the main Katz, but we'll see.
Yeah, you'll get there, bro. I'm sure. Like the one and only. Yeah. But no, you've got to do little things like that like set you apart from the crowd. And I think it goes to show like having fun with it. Yeah, maybe not taking yourself too seriously is like. You know, it comes up with the most organic results.
I agree.
You know, you kept that from back in the day, from when you were a wee this high. But I suppose to bring it back then, where does the story begin? Where are you from, and what got you into pursuing music in the first place? I guess
I'm from Leicester, Highfields, Leicester, the mean streets of Highfields, Leicester. I grew up in Leicester.
You've got a couple of lyrics about that I'll touch on in a moment.
I grew up in Leicester. Like I'm known as a Sheffield rapper, but I grew up in Leicester. I'm Leicester.
Where does the Sheffield Association come from? Is it just like because you've been active around in this kind of local scene?
I've been in Sheffield for just over 10 years now, and I guess when I first started releasing music, I was in Sheffield, and so like I'd been in Sheffield for a long time when I first started releasing music. So I was just like. I've sort of just like billed as a Sheffield rapper, so like
for sure. So that people over time, people have like associated you with this city rather than your hometown.
Which is a shame, honestly. No, that's fair. I love Sheffield, and like, but Leicester born and bred, man. And I got into music probably around I think 11. Maybe a bit younger is when I got in through like a youth club type of thing, like get the kids off the street, that sort of thing.
And
so like
there's all good people in those community centres though, doing good things for the kids in the community.
And so like a friend of mine, Jason Casper, who was a fucking sick rapper at the time actually, he kind of taught me how to rap and how to like count bars or that sort of thing. So I made a few tunes back then, and also, I was really good at rapping over people's songs. So like, I went to like one of the worst schools in Leicester. So for music class, they basically let us do karaoke. And like that was all we did.
Like other kids doing like Michael Jackson and like nice things you expect kids to do. You're there doing like "Juicy" by Biggie Smalls.
No, well, what it was like they had Purple Pills, that D12 song, Purple Pills.
Red and yellow, purple pills.
I used to know what I thought, so I used to do it, and it became a thing. People was like, "Yo, Katz is doing Purple Pills." People used to come from other lessons and that's what
just to watch you do like this M&M song.
So that was my first first performances, I guess.
I think it's hard like to come up in hip hop and not be influenced by Eminem, D12, that kind
Eminem
of Dr. Dre, that whole era, that whole scene.
As a lyricist, Eminem was definitely like, obviously you can argue whether he's fell off or not. But Eminem's one of the.
I don't think it ever fell off. I think it was more of a case of just like, I think that's just what happens to rap. Like, rappers when they get into like their 50s, really. I mean, I suppose like you have people like Nas who are kind of the exception to the rule.
Yeah, like a few men are doing it better in like you got obviously Killer Mike and all sort of thing, but like Eminem was dope. Like, Eminem was definitely one of the first guys who taught me like how to be a lyricist. You know what I mean?
For sure, yeah.
I think I was 11 when Slim Shady LP came out.
Wow.
Like that was a big.
That was a big moment for everyone.
Yeah, that was a huge influence.
Because I think obviously like being like lyrically on a level above everyone else in terms of his peers at the time at least. That was one thing, but I don't think that was never what really got. I mean, obviously that was what drew a lot of people in, but I think the real core of it was like he tapped into that angst at the time.
And being funny as well, like being funny in rap, like being not doing comedy rap, but being funny like with bars and stuff. Like only a few men do that really well. Like him, Redman. There's not many people who like. You got comedy rap and you got people who can be funny with it.
Like come across a little, I don't know, like a little corny with it.
Yeah, exactly. But Eminem could be genuinely funny within his bars, and that's a big
and unbelievably lyrical as well.
That's a big thing for me. I'm always trying to be funny. Like maybe that's a big influence on me. I'm always trying to be funny in my shit. Like.
Yeah, for sure. Like so that's the side of Eminem that you like took from.
And like the sort of like dark absurdity of it, like.
Yeah. What other influences did you have coming? Because you're obviously influenced by that like late 90s, early 2000s scene. Like what other influences did you have coming up?
Like a lot of the white rappers that were post Eminem or pre Eminem, like Cage is a big one.
For sure. Yeah.
Cage, Copyright. Early LP was a fucking huge influence.
For sure, yeah.
Necro.
From Run the Jewels, right? Killer Mike.
His early stuff is like insane. But then I was a big mixtape guy in it, like the mixtape era, like New York. So Dipset, D Block, Cassidy,
of course.
All that sort of like the punchline rappers and stuff, man. I was a big Dipset guy. Cameron still looked
Cameron
Arrogance with the pink fucking fur coats and that. Yo, that shit influenced me to this day, man. Like.
For sure.
And then recently, Kanye's a big influence, but that's one more recent influence. Like,
It's weird. It's weird.
Kanye is a crazy motherfucker, but yo, he's sick, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it amazing. I mean, the number one song in the world right now is Kanye West featuring Ty Dolla $ign. So we were just talking about him off camera, and it's funny how like. Because obviously people were like mad at the whole controversy that went off. It goes to show that like. People forgive, people forget. They're not even forgiveness, just people forget. People have got short memories, you know. Puts out a good song, it doesn't matter. People are going to listen to it, you know.
Yeah, I'm one of the people who think geniuses can get away with a certain amount.
Can you like separate the the art from the artist?
100%, I do it all the time.
I think you kind of have to. You must say problematic.
All my favourites are problematic, man. Is what it is.
But that's where like the rawness comes from. Like, are you into like the Chicago drill scene, like Vaughn, Dirk, Herbo?
You know what? Recently I've grown to appreciate that stuff because obviously I think with drill I either love it or I hate it, and I think South London drill, that sound took over the world. Like so you've got London, like New York guys who want to sound like South London drill. When you listen to that Chicago drill, it's different. It's a lot darker. The beats are darker.
Well, that's the origins of the
and like so, I've got into that recently, and I'm like, this shit's alright.
Because it started in Chicago and then kind of got exported to the UK, and then the people like Pop Smoke took it, like in New York, took it back.
Pop Smoke is sick. But I'm not a huge drill fan, but there's certain guys that I do like. I felt like Heady One, like some of the London guys.
Yeah, well, is it because like with like British rappers? I mean, I suppose, do you relate to it? Do you relate more to like the stories and what they're telling through that? I guess.
Like it won't seem so bad. I've been in the mix. You get me? I've been in the mix. I've been on them roads.
I've got lyrics from your tape right here,
bro. Funny because I could probably do drill, but I don't like want to do because drill's a bit too on the nose violent. I don't know.
You like the metaphors, you like doing it in a more subversive kind of way.
And I think with what's happened with London drill is like the music's got boring, like the beats have got boring, like they all kind of sound the same, the flow all sounds the same. Where I think when you listen to Chicago drill, the beats, there's something about that production that's a bit darker.
It's just,
there's
all of it comes from like the productions on it, all of it's Dirk, isn't it?
Yeah,
all of it, like he influenced that whole era, that whole scene. Really, like obviously, like Chief Keef is massive.
Yeah, I love Chief Keef though.
Chief Keef is massive, and like Chief Keef is like. You know, the way he like gets a crowd turned up, turn the fuck up, and like that his delivery, his feel, like, everything about like his like lyrics and just him on a track.
Yeah.
Like obviously you could argue that Chief Keef is like as influential, but like Dirk's just like the all round package. Like he's got the lyricism and the musicality, the instrumentation, the production, like the whole round game with that guy is like. Just so crazy. He's influenced so many people. You appreciate that more like technical musician aspect side of it as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so your debut tape is titled Black Magic and Red Wine.
Yeah.
I suppose that's your fans' sort of first introduction to you as an artist, you'd say, right? I suppose what was the reception to that tape, and how did that project come to be?
Well, how it came to be is like I met a producer called Fro Neutron. Shout out to Fro Neutron in Sheffield, a friend of a friend. This was years ago, just at a party.
Got to plug the homie.
We started chatting. He talked about how he produced, and I talked about how I rap. And he said, "Yeah, I'd like to make some hip hop. I'd like to try it. I don't really make that." And I was like, "That's cool."
So it's like an organic.
So he would just send me these beats, and this happened over about a year. He sent me some beats, and we made a few tunes. Some of them will never see the light of day, but it was a good start. And
you probably had like 20 songs. You cherry picked the best ones. It's usually how it goes, man. Yeah.
But then it was like over the pandemic, I made the first single off that Wine Cave fundraiser, which ended up being the first single off.
I like that one for sure.
We made that over the pandemic, like remotely as well. Just I think I was at my girlfriend's house. I made it on her mic and sent him the thing, and then we got.
So it was a really like DIY, do it in your bedroom kind of project,
And then we got that out there somehow, and then a friend of mine was friends with Dr. Syntax on fucking Facebook, so she gave it to him. She's like, mate, you're only
a DM away from
shout out to
someone
her as well, by the
someone,
way. Shout out to Janine as well, man. Sending that track out, and Dr. Syntax put it on his Facebook, and then this little label from down south got in touch, and like, yo, we've heard your stuff. We really want to.
We'll put your EP out.
Yeah. Because I had a few tracks on SoundCloud at the time as well, and they were like, we want to work with you, make some videos. I thought it was a joke, honestly. About 6 months later, they got in touch like, oh yeah, sorry it's been so long.
That's crazy though.
Yeah.
They thought they're like, this isn't serious, and it actually turned out to be.
And then they were like,
it's worth responding to the DM. It's worth hitting them back, you know.
But then they were like, do you want to come down to London and shoot some videos and stuff? And I was like, yeah, sick. So they shot the video for Wine Cave and the two others, Wine Cave, Loudmouth, and A Statement. And then we recorded, when I went down there, recorded the EP in two, over like Saturday and Sunday. And then
the whole EP in 2 days?
Yeah. Did all
That's quite impressive. That's quite impressive work, right?
Because the tracks were already out there, but we done them rough in it, so we re-recorded.
You needed a professional take.
Yeah, so we re-recorded the whole thing down there. Yeah, again, shout out to Brainscan Records plucking me out of obscurity, just shooting some videos that would have cost me a lot of money.
But like that's quite interesting though, because you kind of seen that like you obviously went from releasing a few songs on like SoundCloud as an independent, and like usually it's one or the other, isn't it? So like like you take this story of like Juice WRLD for example, like he leaves college. Immediately gets like labels were hitting him up, going, this guy's like super talented. We need to sign this guy as quick as possible. People knew that it was Juice WRLD was that guy, and he went from being a nobody coming out of high school to like one of the most famous guys in the scene. And that all happened like very very fast. And it either happens that way or these guys like Odyssey who've had great careers, really like respected artists, but have remained independent the whole career pretty much. So it's interesting that you had that experience, like releasing a few tracks on SoundCloud, like dabbling with it, kind of doing it on the side for a while, and then getting picked up by a label. Like, what would you say the difference was? I suppose, did you notice the difference between like working as an independent to okay, I'm in the studio now, I'm working with labels,
to be fair, like Brain Square's not a big label, so it's still basically being independent. So like,
it felt it's like they've got that homegrown kind of vibe.
Yeah. So it's not it's not like I'm backed by like a major label, major backing. They're just a couple guys that have got like a label, and they.
Do you prefer that kind of more kind of chill, low key, less hands on approach with it? I guess.
Yeah.
Rather than like your music going through the hands of like a million executives or whatever.
It's a double-edged sword though, because sometimes I need the hands on because like I can drift off in it. So in
what aspect? Like motivation?
Yeah, just motivate. Look, I'm a genius with no ambition. It's a curse.
Most of us are. Yeah.
Like it's like sometimes I need the fucking whip in it. So, sometimes I need
same. I can relate to that.
And one of the guys from Brainspan has been doing that a little bit recently, and I thank him for it because he's like, "Yo, right, do this, do that." I'm like, that's kind of what I needed.
He knows what you need. He knows what you need to do for sure. But yeah, like what do you think the benefits are to like working on a team like that, having like a team around you like that? I suppose.
I guess for me, like again, because I've not been like. I'm not one of these guys that's been grinding, putting out music for years and like proper.
You started in the pandemic, like you started quite recently.
I've been writing bars since I was a kid. That's why I'm good. But I've not been putting out music for a long time.
But when you started doing it, it came naturally to you because of the experience.
I'm lucky that I put out a track and someone noticed it. Those videos wouldn't exist in it. I wouldn't have paid to get those videos done. I wouldn't have saved up the money to pay for someone to do those videos. That wouldn't have happened.
Like you had like someone reaching out to you.
So I'm lucky that they came along and did that, and that put me in a position. Even though so my tracks are on Spotify, Apple, all that, whatever. I don't know how that's done it. They did all that. They did all of that.
How much of it is down to
they like? Did all that shit.
Not my forte, bro. Like, just give them the track.
I don't know.
How you keep using that word "look"? That's quite an interesting philosophy, I guess. How much of it do you think is down to? Because obviously there's a lot of really talented MCs out there, but like not obviously it's the kind of top 1%, 3%, 5%, whatever it is that actually go on and put out music, get to that level where they've got like a groundwork to do something professional. Yeah. How much of it do you think is luck, and how much of it do you think is skill and talent?
I reckon some of it's luck or skill and talent, but not even that. Like to get there's guys that are at top that maybe not that talented, but they've got like that killer instinct in it, like just ruthless ambition. Yeah. That's part of it as well. You can be the most talented motherfucker in the world. If you don't got that, then you're not going to get to the top. I've not got that, so I'm not going to get to the top. But I can slide in the middle.
You seem like the kind of guys that you're comfortable in that. And that's all right. Like I think, you know.
I do like money though. I do make money.
Don't we all?
I'll sell out.
Don't we all?
So anyone else, I'll sell out as soon as you ask me money.
I appreciate that honesty, fam.
I'll sell a song to anyone. I'll give. But money more than integrity.
That went out the window a long time ago, son. But no, you seem kind of comfortable, like you have a lot of guys who are like, oh yeah, I'm on the grind, like I'm trying to be like the best or whatever, and then you have guys that like completely don't have the ambition at all. But you seem to have found like a nice middle spot, like
I'm sorry, in the middle. Honestly, I wish I had the grind. Sometimes I wake up, I'm gonna get the grind today, but I'm like, nah, you know what?
But I imagine it'd be quite debilitating if you had the grind but you didn't have the talent.
Well, that's the thing.
Do you know what I mean? You'd rather have like the talent, but engage with it on your own terms in your own time.
Because
then you just set the other way is just like setting yourself up for disappointment a lot of the time.
I'm not very prolific in it. Like I'll write a whole song if it doesn't feel good to me, I'm not gonna put it out. I'm sitting on so much unreleased stuff because I'm only put out the best of me in it. That's the thing.
I think you kind of have to. I think all of these guys do, to be honest.
I work very slowly. That's the thing. I do work very fucking slowly.
Dude, this is my first podcast in like a year, dude. Like you're preaching to the choir, fam. Like. For sure. But thank you for helping me. You're motivating me today, getting my shit going again.
But I meant to have I've got
comme ça. Everyone in the scene kind of motivates each other, you know.
But I've got 2 projects meant to be out by the end of the year, and that's hugely ambitious for me. We'll see.
You got big goals, and then if you only get half of that, if it ends up just being one, it's like It was fine. At least I got half of it done. It could have been none. But no, yeah, it's good that you've got that. I think it's good that you have those goals in mind. So with me, it's there's a guy who helps us out with this stuff. He's called Mark. He's in Bay Britain, the band you're familiar with. Yeah, he's the drummer. I think to be fair, I think there's with me and his relationship, there's elements of each other that I think we both take from. So I think he likes being around me because I'm a bit more laid back with it. I'm a bit we'll do whatever, man. I'm a bit more like that. But then there's aspects about him and his personality that I really admire about him, in the sense of I wish I could be like that, but I couldn't. I'm not that way myself. So just the way that he sets a goal, and he's the organised one of the group. He's we're doing this on this day, this on this day, and I went on holiday with him one time, and he put the whole itinerary together. Right. And every friend group needs that guy. None of that stuff would have happened if we hadn't gone with Mark. Yeah, and just the way he motivates himself, I really admire that, and I wish I could be that way inclined, where I've got my mind on this thing and I'm gonna do it. A lot. I mean, I can be like that, and I can do that, but only maybe half the time. Yeah. Sometimes I'll have every intention of doing something, and I'll have every intention, but it just, for whatever reason, I won't get around to it, or it won't happen. And I think you need good people around you like that to, just kind of get the best out of yourself, I suppose.
All my exes are like that, proper go-getters, which is why I'm fucking single. Did the whole thing where you're I want someone who's completely different. And they're
oh man. At least you recognise that, though. Yeah, at least you got to a point in your life where you're okay, I acknowledge
self-awareness is important.
The self-awareness, this is the thing. You talk about, actually, listen to some of the lyrics in, your songs, girls do play an influence in some of your music. For sure. I don't know, talk to me about that, I guess. Was it, I don't really get the vibe of heartbreak from your music. It's not really a lot of the time when people rap about girls, it comes from a vulnerable place. You're on that braggadocious womanizer shit.
Yeah, which is
with that bar by Drake when he's I spent $100,000 on you hoes. I'm a feminist. That's the kind of vibe I got from you.
I'm not really a Drake fan. That's a good part.
The same, but you gotta acknowledge when it is a fire fucking lyric,
I enjoy the company of women, most men, obviously.
I don't think many of our audience are gonna disagree with that.
No, but I just thought it'd be funny to talk about sex in a funny, almost like you said, braggadocious way.
Because sex is funny.
Yeah,
it is really funny.
But I think rappers there's people that rap about sex in a good no one raps about sex well anymore. People used to be. I mean, there used to be 2 Live Crew. There used to be some good freaky rappers talk about sex. I kind of want to bring back that.
Biggie was amazing at rap for a big massive fat dude with a lazy eye.
Well, Kanye raps about sex really
amazing
well.
At rapping about sex.
Kanye raps about sex really well. Kanye raps about sex very well, and I'm trying to capture that vibe a bit. I wouldn't call myself a player or a ladies man even, but but it's
it's all about you can switch that button in your brain and be that guy on a track is what you're trying to say. You can there's that side to yourself that you can bring out when necessary.
And I enjoy, cause I enjoy your music myself. So when I write a good bar about eating pussy, if I make myself laugh, that's gotta go out there. If I'm sitting there making myself laugh.
If it makes you laugh, then it's bound to make someone else laugh and then find it funny. How much of that side, that kind of cheeky side of yourself is, how much of that is genuine, and then is there the other side where can you be sensitive in relationships? I suppose.
I can be 100%. I'm pretty.
I feel like this is getting kind of personal. We'll go with it.
Let's go. Yeah. No, but I can be sensitive 100%. I think I'm a pretty good boyfriend, honestly.
As far as they go, yeah.
I'm the guy that people come to me for relationship advice because I know what I'm talking about.
The fact that you can say that about yourself.
But I feel like, so my thing is like, if you're in a relationship, even if you've been in there 3 years, you still got to keep that cheeky side.
You've got to keep it like. Otherwise, it's dead, isn't it? The flare's gone.
So you got to be there both, innit? So like,
man, you've got to like be able to like turn it on and be that guy, you know. Like it's all well and good being like, you know, oh yeah, like I can open up to like my other half and be sensitive. That's all well and good, but I think like sometimes you need to, like as a man in particular, I think you need to be that like. You need to know when to turn on that alpha side, you know, for sure.
Just the cheeky side, just a little bit,
Yeah,
but I've got to say, like, I've toyed with like doing like a heartbreak album, but I've yet anyone to really break my heart. So, ladies, come on, take your shot. Take a good heartbreak album.
Give it a go. See what you got. See if you can do it to me. But yeah, like, that's probably like. I mean, it's probably unfortunate that you've not had that experience yet.
I'm lucky.
You're lucky, you made it thus far unscathed. But yeah, I suppose like bring it back to the music a little bit. The opening track on your tape, is it Incantation? Is that how you pronounce that? Yeah. I thought I was gonna butcher that, but I managed to like get it out, bit of a tongue twister. But straight away on that song, I hear the gospel influences in the like instrumentation with it's like a church organ that's used at the start. And there was like the vocal sample, "Let Me Love You." Where does that come from? What made you think like, oh yeah, like the opening track of my tape needs to be a gospel song?
So produced by Faux Neutron. I love that song. Like, cause I barely spent any bars on that. Like the chorus, like I always say that like out of all them tunes on that EP, that's really Faux Neutron's song, because like I spit maybe 8 bars on each verse on that. It's not even proper verses, but I think what it was, like, I don't even know if I can say, but the sample is Madonna. I think it's like a virgin.
Really?
Inverted,
wow.
But it's inverted so much, like it sounds like that.
I didn't even recognise that.
That's how we got past the sampling to get on fucking Spotify.
But that's like levels that like your producer can do that to the degree.
So again, shout out to Faux Neutron, man.
Yeah, man.
But
for
yeah,
sure.
like,
that's a really talented guy, right?
Yeah, I think that's a Madonna track that's so inverted that it passed the test to not get caught by the publishers. So yeah,
that's crazy.
So I usually open sets with that song because it like
it draws people in.
Yeah. Like I said, I barely rap on it. The chorus is the main thing on that.
That's what
I love.
Well, I mean, I think like your bars kind of like brings the track alive, really.
Yeah.
Like that's what gives it the personality. But like I don't know, I just thought musically it was quite interesting. Like I did, because I've heard some of your other stuff, and I had the privilege of like seeing you live actually, which I'll get onto in a moment. But I missed that tune in the set, and then when I heard it on your album, I was kind of surprised. It wasn't what I was expecting.
It was the first time I didn't do it. That set did what you saw. That's the first time I didn't do that song actually.
Well, there you go. That's the irony. I missed it. So, but then again, like it had a good effect because I went away. I listened to your stuff, and like I said, it caught me off guard. I was surprised. It wasn't what I thought that you were going to do. You're a versatile guy. You know. Have your fingers in many different pies, I guess.
Yeah, well, I hope the next 2 projects are going to be completely different from each other, hopefully. So, yeah, people are going to see how versatile I really am.
Yeah, I'm sure. I was totally different. So, stylistically, on more of a general scale, you've come with that kind of lo-fi vibe, along with that like, cheeky delivery that puts your own spin on it, as we touched on before. Yeah, so I suppose you found your niche in that way, and you've played into that. How's that gone for you? Like, what kind of have your listeners responded well to that authenticity, and do they like what kind of crowds are you drawing into your shows and like listening to online? What kind of people are? Because I imagine it's different to more of a traditional. Because like you describe yourself as alternative rap, so I imagine the crowds and the scenes you're played into are, I suppose, different to the traditional scene. I guess. What kind of people are you drawing in?
Like I guess so the alternative rap crowd, or like the UK hip hop crowd, which I guess, who would be like sort of the Jest sort of that sort of crowd, Dirty Dive, that sort of crowd. I've played to those sort of audiences before, but I've also played like. to like more arty audiences, like that sort of Abbeydale Picture House, where they've got like that.
Very hit. I've done a few shifts in there, as, like actually working in there. Very hipster vibe. Yeah, but full of hipsters.
But the next door they've got the Fly Tower, which is like almost like an old church where they used to
have for sure.
So I've done like arty sort of gigs there. That's more of an arty crowd. So I think, like I said, I think I could be versatile. Like I said, I've done a couple of festivals, where like we did a festival. Well, we were playing just after drum and bass, man, and then
I came out with. You did a video. That was one of your music videos. You did live at the festival.
Festival, which is kind of a hippie festival, but that was pretty cool. Yeah,
That's dope. But yeah, like the kind of festival vibe, I suppose. Like what? That's kind of a different place to. Obviously people do, that's where people perform live and stuff, but to actually do a video there, that's, kind of thinking outside the box.
Yeah, it was fun because, I think, Brain Scram, because they work with, they're joined up with, ukhiphop.com, the old website. So they do, a lot of those sort of festival videos with rappers and stuff, where they just, shoot you around the tents and that. It's fun, man.
Yeah,
you got kids walking playing like that.
You can't, because that's the purest way of being in and amongst it, really.
And we did that on the fucking Sunday, so I'd been up for 2 days.
You were wrecked by that point, but sure, here we are. Let's do it. One of the first really punchy standout bars from your tape comes from the second track from that project, Loudmouth, which I did see you perform live, which the bar, I'm about to say, it hits its punches. That was the one that stood out for me when you performed it live as well, and it has the same resonance, listening to it on Spotify. But the bar where you say you were from the postcode wars, you're a veteran. Yeah. Okay, so obviously there's a lot of interest in street conflict manifesting itself in drill right now, particularly in America. Also over here in the UK. However, the North, the Midlands of the UK isn't what people think of when touching on subjects like this traditionally. So would you maybe be able to give the viewers a bit of an insight into the landscape of the conflict that's going on in Leicester, back in your hometown, I guess.
I can't speak on it now because I've not lived there in a long time. You get me? But
you're talking more from
this is when I was growing up.
Because we're talking before you moved from Leicester to Bradford and then Sheffield, so you're very much out of it now.
We're talking a long time ago, almost 20 years ago now. Since I was on the road to Leicester.
They'll let them know.
A long time ago.
But retrospectively talking about these experiences, I guess. What was it that you learned and took away from those times, and if you could give people a bit of an insight for those who maybe don't associate with the sleepy Midlands with that type of thing.
Leicester, Nottingham at the time was fucking crazy. Birmingham was crazy. Leicester,
is it still as crazy now, or were you kind of there at the high point of it?
I think Leicester might have got worse. Honestly, I don't know about Nottingham and Brum, but those. When I was growing up, Nottingham was called Shottingham because of all the shootings there, and Brum had all the gang stuff, and Leicester had its problems. Leicester weren't the deepest thing, but Leicester had its problems, didn't it? And where I grew up was the ends in it, one of the ends in Leicester.
For sure.
And so I got into sort of petty gang shit quite early, selling drugs, whatever. We had our own little crew. We had beef with the next crew from the next ends, any 2 block versus any 4 block.
So it's not too dissimilar from Chicago, Atlanta. It's its own thing, but
100%.
The structure of it sounds very similar.
Like I said, it was postcodes versus postcodes.
It's just the levels in that aspect. I imagine you've got.
Looking back, it was silly, but people did get hurt in it. People got stabbed. Got shot.
It's just because we're in the UK. It's there will never ever be another, because we're going to go back to the Chicago thing. There will never ever be another scene like the Chicago drill scene, because if you look at New York drill, even New York, even somewhere else in America, you've got K-Flock talking about guns. If he does that, the feds are coming in it. Whereas in Chicago, the feds just kind of let them, just like whatever, just let them go.
Chicago's like so far gone, man. Like
they just ignore them. They just let it carry on. Whereas over here, it's like you got to move in silence. You got to be a bit more careful about
there's a while,
these things.
Like I said, I was doing like the gang shit, but like I was involved in a little bit of shit. But like the drill scene, like in London where man have got killed and the man do a song like near the guy's grave where all the flowers are.
Yeah.
Like, yo, fuck you, glad you dead, all that kind of shit. That's wild, isn't it?
That was crazy. Have you heard of it?
I can't imagine, even when I was like deep into that road shit, I can't imagine ever doing something that wild, innit?
That
like,
crazy.
Going to record a video where the man's been shot and saying, fuck you to the ops and that. It's like that.
It's mad, isn't it? It's crazy.
It's kind of ghoulish,
but
man.
like, I don't think like what do you call it? I don't think like because I think in America people kind of expect it, but I don't think people just think like red buses, London Eye, tourist stuff. People don't necessarily think of that, but you go down like Ladbroke Grove or Shepherd's Bush, it's going down, man. You know what I mean? Have you heard of an MC I've been listening to a little bit recently? Have you heard of Suspect Active Gang?
I'm not sure, no.
He was a guy who blew up in the kind of London drill scene, but like he was talking about that, the ops that he was smoking on and stuff. But he actually ran away to Kenya. He had to go on the run from the police. But he was like releasing music while he was on the run and like filming music videos with because he had a mask on. He was like using imposters and tricking the feds into thinking he was still in the UK. And like I listen to the music and like it's really good, but also like there's an element of. It is the shock factor. It is the it's interesting because of the story and everything else that's going on around it. But like I get the vibe from you and like other guys like you have had through here. Like you want to be known and recognised for like the artistry rather than the bullshit. You know?
Because I always say like, not to toot my own horn, but I've done enough shit to do like actual gangster rap. But I'm not like.
but you don't want to be that guy. That's the point.
But I think there is a way to do that well, and like, I might try and explore it. Like I'm really into like West Side Gun and Griselda and that sort of. For sure. And I think they're doing gangster rap like really fucking well in it. They're bringing artistry to it. There is a way to do it, but I think like a lot of drills, to me, it's a bit tired now, isn't it? Like it's the same flows, same beats.
I know what you mean.
But I've got no problem with people spitting straight grease, man. I don't give a fuck. Like I'm not.
I find it entertaining. I'm not learning about it.
I'm not a moralist. I'm not a moralist at all. Like, I don't care if you spit straight grease. That's fine.
I think there's too many moralists out there.
Just find a cool way to do it. That's all. That's
100%. Well, it's like Vaughn, isn't it? Like I mean, the way. I don't think you could say because the interesting thing about it is that it's not whether he's like a good person or a bad person. That debate is kind of redundant. It's like, but what he is doing is he's through his stories and through his lyrics, which are so direct and so like he doesn't mince his words. You know what he's saying.
That's why he's a pretty bad person. That's why he's like a serial.
He murdered a lot of people, man. Like, dude.
To be fair, a lot of them Chicago drill guys, they're fucking monsters.
Mental,
monsters,
100%.
You read that stories like Jesus Christ.
But it's the fact that like he was able to like. Reflect that, get that across, and I think he'd be pretty concerned if you related to King Von. If you listen to his music and went, I relate to this. It's not that I relate to it, but it's like it gives me an insight into a world that like I'm not a part of and I don't fully understand.
And I think
which is interesting.
All music is good for that, innit? Like one of my favourite artists is Lana Del Rey because she gives me insight to what I don't understand.
I was not expecting that, but
sort of like the way he broke and God who goes like, well, that's an insight to a world I don't understand. That's why I love Lana Del Rey.
Yeah, and so it works both ways. Yeah, 100%. That was crazy. I wasn't expecting to hear that today, but there you go. So in relation to like Leicester, it sounds like it wasn't too dissimilar from places like that. However, just the difference being that
less guns.
You've got to move.
Way less fucking guns, I tell you.
That's the main thing.
Way less. There was guns, but way less guns.
Yeah, just a lot less. But yeah, like just being in the UK, like I imagine guys just had to move different, right?
Yeah, it depends where you were. Cause again, at the time, Leicester was where I was on the road, but like we knew Nottingham was way worse, and like if you got on a move to Nottingham, you knew man were going over the board. You knew them man were going to be strapped in it. So like you knew for a fact that Nottingham were going to be getting strapped, so you had to take they just had
shotting
in a minute. Yeah, Brum as well. Brum was wild at the time as well.
Yeah, I bet, man. But it's like you had to know kind of like the places and the areas.
Yeah, it's like again, UK's like even in London, like you're not getting shot walking on the street in it, like.
Yeah, it's not like it is over the other side of the big pond. Yeah. But yeah, I suppose moving on from that then, like, how does it feel being, 10, 15, 20 years removed from that space and that time and being removed from that place? Like, how does it feel now when you're trying to, I don't know, do this music thing properly, try and move as an adult?
I love it because I can straddle both worlds, man, because I'm like solidly middle class now, at least culturally middle class, but I can still talk about the ends of authorities.
I was there.
I've got the best of both worlds.
That duality, man.
So I'm alright, man. I'm chilling.
I suppose it's always like walking the tightrope, walking that line of like what's acceptable and stuff. Yeah, man. But no, it seems like you've embraced that growth, I guess.
Cause I've still got friends in the when I go back to Leicester, I've still got friends that are involved, which get me, so I still get my taste. When I go back, I still go get my taste. Get my taste in the end.
But that's you can dip in and then dip out.
Come back to sunny green Sheffield and go for a
back to the burbs, man. Yeah, 100%. But I think my favourite song from that project is the penultimate track, Parasite. I love the jazz trumpet in that. Where does I suppose like where does the that kind of like 20s style jazz influence come from?
I think that track is one the most sampled. Obvious sample is like Duke Ellington's
on the trumpet.
Sure, man. Sure. I think Phonucci only really put the drums on, man. So like I was listening to like a jazz playlist the other day. And the original just came on. I was like, Parasite, and then started rapping to it. Go with the original.
That's quite a because not a lot of MCs would like listen to that and like, I could spit bars to this. So like, what made you?
As soon as
have you always been that kind of person who thinks outside the box with that?
I think so, and then I think it was just a match between me being able to think outside the box and Phonucci's beats were completely outside the box. Because some of those beats are not easy to rap on. If you listen to them, like the beats are kind of rough beat because Phonucci's not a hip hop producer. So like so when he sent me that thing, I was like, yeah, man. I think it took me a while to like get some down to it, but as I listened to it over and over again, and then eventually I came up with the first bar. I thought I got a pocket for the blingers and the glitter bomb, and then just went from there.
It was one of those things where it's like, this is
easy from
it's not necessarily your comfort zone. But like once you found something, you were like, I can work with this. Yeah, do you want to experiment with that kind of sound a bit more in the future? You said the next tape's going to be different, but is that an avenue that you'd like to explore?
Like 100%. I really love that EP, and obviously it's a very good introduction to like what I do. So I think I'd love to make another EP with Phonucci on again, maybe in the future, or someone similar. 100%.
Yeah, for sure. And the last track on the tape, you mentioned it before, Wine Cave Fundraiser.
That was the first single.
I thought that sounded like something off of like Operation Doomsday. How did Doom influence your stuff? And do you remember where you were when he passed? I guess. How was that for you?
So I am a big Doom fan. I'm a huge Doom fan. I first heard Doom in uni. I think the first album I heard was the one with Mad Villain.
Probably his best album.
I think that was the first album I heard of his, and then I've been a fan ever since, man. Like, and it's funny because he died in fucking Leeds, which is crazy, isn't it?
You wouldn't have. I don't think anyone knew that he was there.
He died. Because I didn't even know. I heard about the immigration thing, and I heard he was sort of stuck over here, but then. Because
he is British. He was born here, wasn't he? He just lived over there for a long, long
21
time.
Savage thing, you just didn't get his visa, whatever. Like, cause I guess he moved over as a kid. You don't really get what.
But it was one of those where like he'd been gone for a couple of months by the time his wife put, I think it was his wife or his partner put out a message online, and that's kind of, I suppose, like appropriate, I suppose, because he kept his personal life super secret. That's why he wore the mask. It's kind of appropriate that the man in the mask went and nobody really knew about it.
But I'm a huge dude. Dude was a big influence on lyricism and stuff.
Absolute goat. Just the way he because he did it in a way that because before him, I don't think people really thought of rapping over different time signatures.
Well, that's the
and
doing
crazy stuff modern lyricists. Even though he wasn't, because he was the underground. That's why people say he's your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
Yeah,
he was the underground guy. Yeah. But his influence, I imagine, is so just wide stretching and so grand in terms of the scope of it, because he just was the first guy who experimented doing different stuff.
Like you said, rapping over different time signatures, that sort of offbeat rapping.
Yeah, the offbeat time flows. Yeah.
YNK, I mean Black Magic and Red Wine, some of them beats, because of how Flow Neutral produces, they're not on beat, innit? So they were difficult for me to rap over.
They're once you found that flow, it's kind of a doom flow.
It sounds like I'm off beat. It's like, no, the beat's off beat.
The beat's off. Yeah, the thing itself, I'm in time. It's the beat that's
I
weird.
enjoyed that challenge, and that Doom, because Doom does that a lot, man. So he was definitely a big influence on that sort of that.
Yeah, man.
Me writing over Flow Neutron's beats,
Yeah, man, for sure. No, he's a guy. I can see it. It's good that there's guys like you taking influence from his stuff and carrying on that that sound, that style.
Another rapper appreciates comedy, man. Doom was He's associated with Adult Swim and all that stuff, and man.
There was a lyric of his that was really funny and interesting. He was something plan shows like robberies. Get in, get the bag, and get out. And he's talking about there's some truth in that in real life. He was he did an interview. I think it was on the Red Bull interview or something, where he said he never leaves money on. If the bag's big enough, then he shows up himself.
Right. Yeah.
But if it's not big enough, he never leaves money on the table. He sent imposters and stuff.
No, that's so funny. I love that.
Even though but it's obviously the supervillain did. He's the supervillain of hip hop. Of course, the supervillain did that.
That is really funny as well.
And he's obviously fans came away feeling hey, I kind of got ripped off. But it's what do you expect? I'm the supervillain, And then the way he's he takes that and not only does that, but puts it in makes a lyric out of that is really funny.
Yeah.
And he's got his fans bumping it still and eating up his shit still.
Exactly. Yeah, man.
Genius, bro. Who else can do that, man? But what's next for Katz with a K, I suppose? You mentioned you have a couple of projects that are on the way, up and coming, and where can people find that when you do drop it? Where can people find you?
Wherever the producer uploads it, because I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that. That'd be on Spotify and that, but I think
how do people find you on Spotify? Instagram,
Katz with a K on Spotify. Obviously, you have to spell the whole thing out. Katz with a K. People think I'm saying Katz with a K, but I'm saying the whole world. You have to put with a K as well.
That's why I wanted to get you to specify.
It's the whole thing. So they'll be out soon. I'm hoping to work on some more visual stuff, honestly, because I did film at uni and that, so I should be doing more of a visual aspect to my work. And
that's dope.
So so I'm planning more of that stuff. So that
I think it's more. It's like we were saying earlier. It's more than just having a good song these days. It's the visual aspect is it kind of gets the personality, the persona across a bit more.
One of my most little scene videos, Eulogy for Pimp, go check that out. Katz with a K, Eulogy for Pimp on YouTube. I did the video for that. It's just a mishmash of all films clips from old Plymouth films and stuff. So
for sure.
And that's really good, but no one's seen that. So I go watch that. So
even though it's really good, but no one it's really good, but no one knows.
I did that all myself as well. So
that's dope. That's dope that you got it's more the purpose of knowing you've got that in your wheelhouse rather than anyone actually seeing it necessarily.
So I think I'm gonna do more stuff like that.
That's dope. I mean, we've done a live session as well in our studio today. What's that song called? I mean, that might be out already by the time this comes out.
That's called Superfly and produced by Special Pockets. Shout to Special Pockets.
Special Pockets, another friend of the channel. But go check that, people. But I think we should. We can maybe wrap this up. It's been a really good time, and I've appreciated having you down. Well, you know where we're at. If you want to come down again, you're welcome anytime, bro. But this has been Katz with a K. I've been your host, John, and it's been the Bunker Podcast. Make sure to give us a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed the content. I know it seems a bit derivative, but it goes a long way. But take it easy, everyone. Catch you on the next one. Peace out.